Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your October 2021 reading. So I'm going to be doing a 3-card spread with your most recent past in this position, your present situation in this position, and your potential future outcome in this position. So I'm going to be using the Light Seer's Tarot to do this spread, and we'll be clarifying with the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. So I just want to preface by saying that I do not know all of the Animal Spirit deck cards. I haven't been working with it long enough to know them all. So there are some cards that I may need to check the guidebook for, in which case I'm just going to ask for your patience and understanding, and to know that, checking the guidebook sometimes holds messages that I wouldn't have for you, right? So just keep that in mind, and I appreciate your patience. Let's jump right in and see what we have going on for you this month. So please, universe, spirits, guides, angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, what can you tell me about Sagittarius's most recent past, please? Okay, Page of Wands. So this is new creative ideas. This is, enthusiastic, adventurous, optimistic mentality on, beginning something new. This is being curious, very youthful type of energy. So maybe you, in the most recent past, Sag, have found yourself being inspired, feeling creative. Maybe you've got some brilliant, innovative ideas that have come in for you recently, or maybe you've just had this kick up in energy where you feel more enthusiastic, more positive, more youthful, and, kind of feel like you have gotten your spark back recently, perhaps. What can you tell me, please, about Sagittarius's present? What's going on for them presently, please? What can you tell me about Sagittarius in the present moment for October 2021? All right, face up there. We have the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is this energy of juggling, right? Taking on way too much, and also about really juggling aspects of self. Okay, so we'll see more about that with the clarifiers that will really, hone in on what that might mean a little bit more specifically. But, you may have found yourself like kind of running yourself ragged. Maybe you have, feel like you have a lot of responsibilities recently that you've been putting a lot of your energy into, and maybe you've even felt or taken on more responsibility because in your most recent past with this Page of Wands, you may have got this uptick in energy, or a vitality. I don't know why that, I don't like ever use that word. So that might be for someone specific, but I feel like you may have had this uptick in vitality or energy, and so you're like, oh yeah, I can do all the things. But really, I mean, I don't, it may feel now like you're juggling more than you can handle, or you may have taken off a little bit more than you can chew, right? So it's really about kind of juggling self and almost or waning on, reaching a burnout type of energy. So let's see what we have for your potential future outcome. So what's the potential future outcome for my Sagittarius friends, please? What's the potential future outcome? Thank you. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have the Magician showing up for you here, Sag, in your potential future outcome position. This card talks about that inner magician, essentially, right? Being essentially magic as an individual being. And by that, I mean because of the natural skills, talents, and abilities that you possess within you. Okay? So, there may be a discovery. I'm trying to get it to focus you guys. Sorry, there we go. There may be, this kind of display, or maybe a talent that kind of comes in that you maybe didn't know you had. And I don't know why I feel that, but I feel like it might be something you didn't necessarily know you were good at, right? Or maybe didn't have an interest in before. But perhaps this Page of Wands energy, whatever that is, right? It does talk about curiosity. Maybe that's something that kind of, you know, kicked that into gear. So at the bottom of the deck, so, you know, what's hidden beneath the surface, there's this Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords talks about, it can be a couple of things, you know, a crisis. It can be heartbreak, right? Being stabbed in the back. But it can also mean or be about this opportunity to heal, you know, for, I believe this is a card about being resilient, and, you know, the opportunity to find hope, I believe, as well. So, that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how all of this plays out once we really dive into the cards. So let's get out some clarifiers so we can really talk about what's going on here for you, Sag. What can you tell me about this Page of Pentacles in Sagittarius's most recent past? Why the Page of Pentacles, please? Oh, okay, that's the one apparently, because holy shit, it like kept trying to come out and I was like thinking it was going to stay in, and then it just flipped over like, nah, this is the one. So we have the Raccoon here, and the Raccoon does talk about being, you know, an artist essentially, or talented in some kind of way, and having this mask on because either, you know, you don't feel like you're talented, or, you know, but it's like it's hiding it in a sense. It does talk about using like a pseudonym, you know, so maybe, I don't know, maybe you write music but don't use your real name or something. You know, it talks about having that mask on and being, you know, having these talents as well, whether, you know, like artistic, creative talents. So maybe that's what happened here in your most recent past, Sagittarius. Maybe, you know, there was essentially this kind of removing of masks. Maybe you kind of fell into this creative ability that maybe you didn't even know you had. And, you know, this could have been something that you kind of, I don't know why it's coming out this way, but like fell on before, but perhaps hid from other people, right? Or didn't outwardly talk about or express. And it's funny, Sag, because I just saw last night, as a matter of fact, spending time with my family, there were videos, compilation videos on YouTube of people singing and their family or friends reactions, right? It was them singing in front of them for the first time. And, you know, I don't know why that's popping in, but I just get this feeling of like you may have had a talent that you discovered somewhere along the way that you've kept hidden, and now it's like, nah, we really just got to be ourselves. I don't know. You tell me. But let's see. What can you tell me, please, about Sagittarius's present moment for October 2021 with this Two of Pentacles, juggling and taking on more than, you know, more than we need to, or more than we should, and juggling the different aspects of who we are? What can you tell me about this Two of Pentacles, please? Oh, look at that. The Otter is showing up. This one I've only had a couple of times, but I do know that it talks about this playfulness and childlike energy, right? Which is interesting because so does the Page of Wands. So, you know, I feel like maybe you kind of, you had this spark, right? This removing of masks, and found this, you know, okay, this new adventure, and are enthusiastic and optimistic, and like, oh yeah, I'm like, just so, I don't know why, but the word vitality keeps coming in. Like, I can just go for days. I can just do all the things. I can just, like, I just want to do everything. Like, is how I feel that energy coming through. And it's actually a little bit unnerving for me, because I mean, I am somebody who does like that, but it feels like very ADHD, like very squirrely, like, oh, look at that, oh, look at that, oh, look at that, and then like not really getting anything done is kind of how it feels for me, and not getting anything done gives me anxiety. So But I'm getting this, I feel like you may have come into this, this new enthusiastic sense or youthful spark or, vitality or whatever, and remove these masks and are like, yeah, I'm going to do all the things, having that very childlike playfulness about it. But then, you find yourself juggling more than you can handle, or biting off more than you can chew, or juggling yourself because, maybe this youthful spark came in and these masks, excuse me, have come off, or you've removed them, or, something along those lines. And now it's like, oh, wait, I'm, oh, wait, I still have this I need to deal with, or, oh, wait, I still have all of these things I need to deal with, right? Like, so, I kind of feel like it's almost like a jump in the gun a little bit, leap in before you look type of energy. But the otter is very playful. So you may have felt like that, right? You may have felt like, oh, yeah, I can just do all the things because blah, blah, blah. But, I would word to the wise, or, caution you to not burn out, right? Don't do this so much that you burn yourself out, right? Taking on way more than what you should be. Let's talk about this magician energy here in for the potential future outcome. Why the magician? All right, that was fast. We have the octopus coming forward to clarify the magician. So this card I'm definitely going to have to look up because I've only seen it. Okay, apparently we need this card too because it just fell into my hand. We also have the scorpion. So with both of these, this card I've only seen maybe one other time, maybe twice, and the octopus is pretty much the same. So I'm gonna have to look those up in the book. The bottom of the deck, what's beneath the surface, is this bat energy. Okay. All right, so let me look up the octopus and scorpion in the book here for you. Sag. Okay, so octopus is that water energy and scorpion is fire. Okay. Octopus. Sorry, you guys. Thank you for being so patient. All right, so let's talk about the octopus first, as it's the one that we got out here. So the octopus talks about this energy that's reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction. The octopus signifies a wonderfully perceptive mind prepared with a lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in well-intended but messy relationships. The octopus entwines itself into other people's business and shares their own without restraint. They believe that's what it means to be close. If you notice after spending time with someone that you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of the octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Be patient and firm. It may be a very old habit to change. Okay. When out of balance, this energy is needy, clingy, and lacks courage, and needs space to oneself or talk therapy to bring it back into balance, after which it will be interested, engaged, and intelligent. Okay? I'm going to dive deeper into that with the magician and how it relates to that card in just a moment, but I do want to touch on this scorpion card first. The scorpion represents passionate, competitive energy and tends to lead toward isolation. Okay. The scorpion is a passionate and determined creature. Their career is very important to them, as are a few select friends. Sometimes the scorpion's heat festers and they focus on an unresolved event from the past, usually a situation where they were left feeling burned. The scorpion card says it's time to come clean about your feelings so everyone can heal and you can get back to your usual fiery but fun self. When out of balance, this energy is jealous, resentful, and unresolved. To bring back into balance, it needs to be honest and forgive in order to be wild and free and fierce. Okay. Wow. So the potential future outcome here talks a lot about, first of all, it talks about that isolation, right? Both of these energies, talk about that. Like, for example, the Scorpion, right, tends toward isolation. And then the Octopus, talks about needing that space to oneself to, allow yourself to get away from the quiet, or the noise, excuse me, of the modern day world and get some quiet. And I feel like that's why the Magician is here. Obviously it is. These are clarifying cards, but right, the Magician talks about, again, those natural skills and talents. Also talks about manifestation abilities, right? And I feel like this is here because okay, first of all, I get kind of like two different stories coming through, and they both may resonate with you. Okay, it's not like it needs to be one or the other. But the Magician talks about those natural skills and talents, and a lot of times, if we it's like if we sometimes we start to question ourselves and what we're capable of, and many times we need to take that time to go inward in order to be able to, it's almost like, pull on that thread of our own strength to be like, okay, yeah, that's right, I can do this, I can, make it through this, I'm strong enough, whatever. So I kind of get that feeling of like, you in the future, or the potential future outcome here, it can absolutely be about, you manifesting what it is you desire, but it can also be about those natural skills and talents being revealed, utilizing them to your advantage, being that magician, transforming your reality. And I feel like, with the Octopus coming out here first, why is the Magician here? Well, if you have had these new skills, or, something like that begin, or make their presence known, I feel like it's because, pardon me, you may have, I keep getting like this need to burp, you guys. I'm not really a burper, but I keep feeling like I need to, and that for me is like a release. It's the energy is like there's a release happening. And I feel like you may have found yourself being able to establish boundaries. Maybe in the present, you become more focused on you and what you want. And the reason I'm thinking that is because in each of these cards, there's one person, right? There's the Page of Wands has one person, the Two of Pentacles has one person, the Magician has one person, even the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck has only one individual in them. So I feel like this playful energy, right? If you've been in this Page of Wands energy in your most recent past, where you're taking off masks and really, seeing yourself for who you are, and getting curious, and maybe exploring some skills and talents that you have, right? You may have kind of found yourself in this very playful energy, but juggling a lot because maybe you didn't have those boundaries before, right? Or in the present moment, maybe you don't have them now. But you may have found yourself like, I'm going to focus on me because this energy feels very good, right? Being playful and joyous and doing things that you love, and having that childlike energy about you, it usually feels really, really good, even if, it can feel silly sometimes, right? So experiencing that in the present, right, through the month of October, maybe, as October wraps up and we move on through the remainder of the year and into 2022, maybe you are able to establish healthy boundaries, right? That may not have been something that you were able to do before, but now you may find yourself there. You may find yourself establishing those boundaries, and it can or could be around you know, people who have burned you in the past, or, you know, what's interesting here is this talks about being a passionate and determined creature. And then it says their career is very important to them, as are a few select friends, right? I kind of get this feeling that you kind of move from this energy of like not having boundaries to establishing those boundaries, and then to establishing like keeping around those few select friends who do encourage you, who do you know, allow you to be exactly who you are without that fire or that heat, right? Without that judgment, without you know, here's the thing with the octopus and talking about boundaries, like the image I get in my head is kind of like being this people pleaser, and just like, oh yeah, I'll pick up your kids for you, oh yeah, I'll run to the store for you, oh yeah, I'll do this for you, no problem, let me help as much as I can, no problem, you know. And then you it's like, okay, now it's like, okay, I can't keep doing this because I'm burning myself out trying to juggle everything that I love and want to be and want to do, and the goal that I'm, you know, striving toward. All of these things that make me feel really good are almost, you know, I'm also taking on all of your shit too, and I can't keep doing that. I'm burning myself out. Like, this isn't fair to me, right? So I get that feeling of like establishing those boundaries, and then, you know, holding on to those select friends that really you know, appreciate you for exactly who you are and all of your glory and all of your honesty, right? And it talks about with the raccoon in your most recent past, under the Page of Wands, taking off those masks and revealing or allowing your talents to be expressed and displayed for people to witness, right? So, you know, I feel like it's taking on, it's getting rid of those friends who aren't supportive in your journey, right? And holding on to the ones who do support you and who are very, you know, you're honest with. They know who you are, and they're, you know, just as passionate about it as you, right? I mean, I feel like you've made room, or you will, and the, you know, the potential future outcome is, you know, going through this experience, establishing those boundaries, holding on to those select friends, making room for those natural skills and talents and abilities and all of these wonderful things that you possess to be displayed freely, openly, and beautifully for the world. That's how I pick up this energy, Sag. So, I mean, at the bottom of the deck, or what's beneath the surface, right, we have this bat energy. Let me just take a drink real quick. I'm sorry. Okay, thank you for that. Or my apologies for that, rather. Let me find this bat card. Okay. Oh, you guys, I can't make this shit up. I can't. I really can't. Here's the bat energy. Now, if your jaw doesn't hit the floor when I read this, I don't know what you're doing. But the bat represents darkness, letting go, death leading to rebirth. What'd I just say? What did I just fucking say? Before emerging, the bat waits for the sun to set and the moon to rise. In the darkness, it can see all that was invisible in the daylight hours. The bat is the master of the subtle senses, of the underlying forces that cause some things to prosper and others to fade. The bat card shows up to signify the ending of a chapter, the closing of a door. Oops, sorry. The bat comes swiftly, encouraging us to move on. In just a few hours, a new day dawns, no more lingering in the past. Wah, wah, wah. Here's the thing, Sag. I feel like some of these people who, you know, if your potential future outcome, right, if that's where you're headed, and this octopus energy here is, you know, resonating with you, and you've, you know, you find yourself needing to create those boundaries, and you know, seeing, I need to let go of some of these people. They aren't for me. They're not my people. That can be incredibly challenging. Okay, that can be incredibly difficult. I mean, anytime you walk away from something, essentially you grieve, right? Even if it's something you know you need to walk away from, right? You grieve. And so, as hard as it may be to set those boundaries, I feel like the universe is very adamant here about it needing to be done, right? If there are people in your life that are not supporting you, are not encouraging you, are not just holding space for you, like it's time to find new people or get rid of those who do that. Like who make you feel like you're not enough, make you feel like you're not talented, make you feel like you don't have all the things, make you feel like you can't be successful. Question your path. And I don't mean question in a friend sense. Like, I want to go bungee jumping. And your friend's like, okay, have you thought about that thoroughly? That's not questioning or, not being supportive. That's genuinely being a good friend, making sure that you're doing, you've put some thought into it. You're not being impulsive, right? But if you're like, I want to be a singer, and you sing and you feel like, that's your path, and you pursue that, and your friend's like, well, you can't sing for shit. I mean, maybe you can't, okay? But that doesn't mean they shouldn't support you, right? That doesn't mean that they shouldn't be like, oh, I'll be here, girl. Like, you can't sing for shit, but if you gonna do it, you're gonna do it. I'll hold your hand every step of the way, right? I feel like it's time to get rid of those people who just aren't supportive. And then, like I said, you can't make this shit up, so I'm gonna bring that back card back up here with me. And interestingly enough, these are the only cards that have animals of flight in them in the cards. And a lot of these cards in this tarot deck have birds in them, okay? Especially in the swords, but nonetheless, there are often birds or something flying. And so, we have the birds here in the Ten of Swords and the bat, both flying creatures. And both of these cards talk about, like letting go, or, like, let me just very quickly, I've seen this card so many times, but for some reason I'm feeling like there's a word in here that will stand out for somebody. Yeah, both of these cards talk about endings. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. So stupid. I can't, like, my brain was like, what is that? Yeah, both of these cards talk about endings, right? And the Ten of Swords does talk about those painful endings, crises, or being stabbed in the back, but it also talks about an opportunity to find deep healing, to find hope and resiliency. And I feel like, here's the thing, this death and so this is what's beneath the surface, right? And with this whole situation, I feel like what's beneath the surface here is needing, first of all, we're going through a death and rebirth, much like the rest of the collective. This transformation has been a theme in almost every single one of the zodiac readings I've done for October 2021, which, I mean, it makes so much sense to me. We're in a retrograde as I film this live on October 10th. And so, there's a lot of stuff from the past coming up to be healed and to be worked through, no matter who you are, what sign you are, right? So I feel, this here is like really about this death and transformation, this rebirth process, and the need to let go, to let things be what they are, right? To let things end and to sit where they are. But I feel like, we're not seeing that this is a death and rebirth cycle. We're not seeing that, this juggling all of these things that we've taken on, whether it be the aspects of ourselves or, things in our physical world, because Pentacles does talk about the physical, right? Or the earth, the physical world, as well as, finances and money, things like that. But with it being Pentacles, it's like, I feel like whether it's you juggling the many aspects of yourself or juggling a lot in your physical reality, I feel like there are these endings that need to take place within your circle. that have to do with other people, right? And I feel like if you are taking on a bunch of shit for other people and they're not appreciative, they don't return the favor, they're not supportive, whatever it is that these people or individuals who do not see your truth and support that, it's an opportunity to heal. It's an opportunity to, adjust. It's an opportunity to move on. It's an opportunity to, this card here, the Magician, is the number one card. I don't know if that's coming through clearly or not, but that talks about in the tarot, the major arcana, it's, 0 is the Fool, followed by the Magician. And I feel like this is the next leg of your journey, right? You may have started something new here with the Page of Wands, and the next leg of your journey is this really sitting into who you are, what you have, your abilities, your skills, right? And really acknowledging that. And I feel like anyone who isn't supportive of that needs to be let go of, or anything that isn't supportive of that needs to be let go of. Anything that doesn't make you feel like you are the fucking magician needs to be let go of, whether that's a romantic relationship, a platonic relationship, a family relationship, a work relationship, a job, a place of residency, whatever that means for you, as far as, things that support and surround you. But I feel like it's more about people, because I feel like all of these different energies bouncing off of my bubble. So, I feel like it's really time for, or it might be wise for you, Sag, to filter through your connections and decide what's supporting you, what isn't, what is going to bring you to a space of peace, and what doesn't, right? And what is going to allow you to be your most honest and truthful self, and that which isn't or does not allow that, right? And the things that do not allow that need to be let go of, because this is a new stage for you. This is a new way of being for you. This is something that I feel like, again, this is freedom for you, Sag. I feel like it's freedom. And I just got goosies all over, like taking off this mask, stepping into this very playful energy, not taking stuff so seriously, right? And then setting up boundaries with people or situations that don't support and don't work for you, keeping a few of those people who are supportive and encourage you to be wild and free, right? And starting this new beginning. I feel like it's freedom for you, Sag, but you have to be able to let go. You have to be able to allow this process to take place. You have to be willing to walk away from the things that aren't serving you. You have to be willing to see the opportunity when you release that or let go. You have to see the opportunity for new, for hope, for resiliency, for healing, right? And that is what's going to allow you to move forward through this with a little bit more ease. It will not be easy to cut people out of your life. It's very difficult, no matter how they've wronged you. I speak from experience. Maybe it's easy for you, in which case, fine, by all means. But I don't feel like this is going to be something easy. Okay? I really don't. I feel like it's meant to challenge you, because it is meant for you to stand very firmly in who you are and what you have to offer the world, which includes your friends, your family, your relationships, right? And if people can't see the value that you have, Sag, it's time to let them go. Okay? So this is what I have for you, Sag, for the month of October. I really hope that this has been, valuable, or at the very least slightly entertaining. But I hope that this allows you to kind of navigate the month a little bit easier than maybe you would have had you not seen this. I'm sending you so much love, tons of hugs. Please remember, to take what resonates and leave what does not. Don't make it your story if it isn't. It's okay if it's not your story. That just means it's not meant for you right now, and that's perfectly fine. Okay. And also, you know, don't let it take from you. Like, if there's something here and you're like, oh gosh, I do have all of these people in my life that aren't serving me, what the hell am I doing, right? Don't let it take from you in that way. You don't know what you don't know until you know it. And we have to be, you know, give ourselves that grace and forgive ourselves for not knowing what we didn't know. All right. So that's what I mean by don't let it take from you. I will see you all again on the next one. Thank you so much for being here. And until then, take care of your beautiful soul. Bye.